good morning. Before the world interrupts, before the deadlines, the drama, and the distractions, you need to talk to yourself clearly and honestly. Because the world will try to label you. People will place limits on you. Life will test you. But if you don't center yourself first, you'll drift away with whatever comes. So every morning, before you scroll, before you sip your coffee, before you say a word to anyone else, remind yourself of these 10 truths. Not just once, every single morning. Let's begin. I am responsible for my life. Say it again. I am responsible for my life. Let that settle in your heart for a minute, because once you say it and really believe it, everything starts to change. That's not just a quote to put on your mirror or a caption under your photo. That's a promise, a contract, a choice you make. Not just with the world, but with yourself. Life will hit you. It will bring things your way that you never asked for, things you didn't deserve, and things that will try to break you. Some of you have been through storms others couldn't survive. You've walked through fire and came out burned, not because you're weak, but because life can be cruel. You didn't choose the pain, the betrayal, or the setbacks. But here's what's real: they may not be your fault, but what you do with them, that's on you. That's where your power begins. You see, life doesn't ask first. It doesn't knock gently. It bursts in without warning. And you're left standing in the middle of the mess. So the question isn't, why did this happen to me? The real question is, what will I do now that it has? Excuses can sound convincing. They come dressed in reasons. They wear the outfit of logic. But look closer. They're just fear pretending to be smart. They're pain trying to stop your growth. And you have to be brave enough to see them for what they are. Lies that keep you stuck. That's right. Because when you live in excuses, you give away your power in exchange for sympathy. You let your past story become your current prison. But taking ownership, that's a different kind of strength. That's looking in the mirror and saying, no more blaming, no more waiting for someone else to fix my life. That's saying, yes, I've been hurt, but I won't stay broken. I've been knocked down, but I refuse to live on the floor. That's the voice of someone who has made a choice to lead their life instead of letting life lead them. You are the author of your story. You hold the pen. Don't give that pen away. Don't let the people who hurt you write your next chapter. Don't let fear decide what comes next. You hold the pen. Use it with all your pain, your joy, your doubt, your hope, and write something powerful. The world may want to label you a victim. It may try to define you by your struggles. But you're not your scars. You're not your past. You're not the mistake someone else made that left a mark on you. You're not the silence after the betrayal. You are the fire that followed. You are the strength that didn't quit. You rose not because it was easy, but because you had no other choice. When you take full responsibility for your life, you don't just take control. You rise higher. You go to new levels. You unlock the version of yourself that doesn't bow to fear or get trapped in doubt. You start walking different, speaking different. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. Some of you are still waiting for a sign, waiting for someone to save you, waiting for the fear to fade. Let me tell you something. No one is coming. No one is coming to rescue you. You are the rescue. You are the answer. You are the miracle you've been hoping for. The moment you take ownership of your life is the moment you stop living on autopilot. You start creating on purpose. You stop reacting and start choosing. You stop surviving and begin thriving. This isn't just a feel-good idea, it's proven. It's real. Studies show, Harvard did the research. People who feel in control, who own their lives, who stop blaming, they perform better. They stay motivated, they stay focused, they feel less stress. Why? Because even when the world shakes, their foundation doesn't. It's easy to be angry. It's easy to blame others. It's easy to say, I'd be ahead if it weren't for them. But that won't move your life forward. What will? Saying, despite them, I will rise. Despite what happened, I will grow. I will build something from this pain. You already have that power. Not later. Not someday. Right now. In the middle of your mess, in the middle of your fear, you have a choice. Choose to take ownership. Choose to lead yourself. Choose to stop sitting in the back seat of your own life. The day isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. You're not here by accident. You're here for a reason. And the moment you say, I am responsible for my life, the universe listens, and something changes, not just outside but inside. That's where change starts. That's where freedom lives. That's where the real you has been waiting. Today is a gift, not tomorrow, not next week, not someday. Today, this breath, this heartbeat you stopped noticing. That's a miracle, repeating itself over and over. You woke up. That alone is a win. Don't miss it. Don't rush past that. You opened your eyes and life gave you one more shot, one more sunrise, one more chance to do something with your life. Thousands didn't get that chance. They had plans for today, conversations, goals, people to love, but they didn't make it. You did. If that doesn't wake something up in you, check your pulse. Waking up is the starting line of greatness. You don't have to earn it. You just have to respect it. Too many people act like they have all the time in the world. They treat today like it's nothing, like it's just another boring Tuesday. But life promises nothing. You don't own the next hour. You only have now, and what you do with now, that's where legacy begins. We waste too much time complaining about what we don't have, wishing we were somewhere else, scrolling through everyone else's life instead of living our own. But let me ask you, how much time have you already lost waiting for the perfect moment? Waiting to feel ready, waiting for fear to disappear. That waiting, it's stealing your purpose. Every second you spend comparing or regretting is a second gone forever. Today isn't small, it's not average, it's packed with power. But you have to claim it. Walk into it with your head up, your heart open, and your focus clear. Don't use today to repeat the past. Don't use it to stay bitter. Don't use it to feed your doubts. Use it to build. Use it to speak life. Use it to show love to someone who forgot they matter. Use it to grow, to give, to go. We all have something we were meant to do. A mission, and that calling won't wait forever. Opportunities are like windows. They open and they close. If you're not ready, if you're not present, you'll miss them. You'll miss your chance to say something that could have changed someone's day. You'll miss the door to your dream. And then you'll convince yourself it wasn't meant for you, when in truth, you just weren't present enough to catch it. The people who make the most of life, they don't have perfect paths. They just decide. They decide to show up, to give effort, to stay committed, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard, they look at the day and say, if this is the only day I get, I won't waste it. You weren't created to drift. You weren't born to barely make it. You were made with purpose for purpose. So stop hiding. Stop shrinking to fit into other people's small boxes. Stop apologizing for your passion. Take today and run with it. Be loud with your gratitude. Be sharp with your focus. Be proud of your purpose. There is something only you can bring into this world, a voice only you can share, a gift only you can give. That's not fake motivation. That's real. So act like it, speak like it, move like it. Someone out there is waiting on the version of you that shows up with courage, not fear. Someone needs your light to help them see. And let's be honest, life isn't always kind. It will test you. It will bring loss, failure, rejection. Some days will be heavy. But even then, especially then, don't waste it. Don't waste your pain. Let it teach you. Let it shape you. Let it remind you that you're still here, still breathing, still trying. And that means everything. You don't have to fix the whole world today. But you can change that's the one you've been waiting to believe in. You don't have to do anything more to earn love. You don't need to become someone else to deserve peace. You don't have to hustle to prove your worth. You already have it. And the moment you start living like you truly believe that, the moment you stop looking for permission from others, everything changes. You start to walk with more confidence. You begin to speak with boldness. You start to face life and say, I'm not here to ask if I fit in. I already know I do. Some people won't understand your confidence. That's okay. Confidence built on truth doesn't need others to approve it. It doesn't get shaken when others doubt because it's not pride. It's awareness. Awareness of who you are. Awareness of what you bring to the table. Awareness that you have nothing to prove and everything to share. You were made with a purpose. Walk like it. Not because you think you're better, but because you're done pretending you're less. There's something in you that the world needs. A light, a voice, a kindness, a strength. Stop hiding it. Stop watering it down. Stop telling yourself you're just anything. You are not just anything. You are exactly who you need to be to start right now. Not when everything is perfect. Not when you're no longer afraid. Not when you've fixed every flaw. Now. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence. It needs your realness. It needs your heart, your fight, your honesty, your story. That's what inspires people. That's what makes a difference. That's what counts. So show up. Show up with your truth. Show up with fear and do it anyway. Show up before you feel ready, and let your actions build your confidence. Show up for your life like it's truly yours, because it is. And every time that old lie creeps in, the one that says you're not enough, answer it with your truth. Speak to it with your fire. Say it out loud. Say it clearly. I am enough right now. And then live like you believe it. Fear won't rule me. Say it. Say it again until your soul hears you. Because fear is loud, but it's a liar. It shouts when you're about to step into something great. It whispers when you're close to your next level. It doesn't want you to grow. It wants you to hide. It tells you you're not ready, that you'll fail, that people will judge, that you'll lose everything if you step out. But fear doesn't tell the truth. It speaks feelings, not facts. And feelings can trick you. Fear isn't wisdom, it's resistance. And that voice always shows up before a breakthrough. It knows when change is coming, when freedom is near. So it does what it always does: lies. It tries to make you smaller. It pretends to be logical. It acts like it's being careful. But deep down, you know the difference between fear that protects and fear that holds you back. One keeps you safe. The other keeps you stuck. Fear will tell you to wait, to stay quiet, to play it safe. But if you keep waiting for it to leave, you'll never move. You'll look up in a year, 5 years, still wondering what might have happened if you just went for it. That's what fear really costs, not safety but regret. You'll fail sometimes. So what? Failure isn't the end. It's the price you pay to grow. You think the people who changed the world never failed. You think purpose came easy. Let me tell you, comfort never made anyone great. Playing safe never left a legacy. Playing small never changed anything. Look at Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times trying to create the light bulb. 1,000 times. Most would have given up after 10, some after 1. But when asked how it felt to fail that much, he said, "I didn't fail. I found 1,000 ways that didn't work." That's not just strength. That's perspective. That's what happens when fear doesn't lead your life. When you stop seeing failure as the enemy and start seeing it as a lesson. Be like that. Be the kind of person who walks through fear. Not because you don't feel it, but because what's on the other side is worth it. Because your purpose matters more than your panic. Because you know staying stuck costs more than falling forward. Let them laugh. Let them doubt you. Let them talk. That's their fear speaking, not yours. And their fear doesn't get to write your story. You weren't born to tiptoe around hills. You were made to move mountains. You were built to rise, not run. And yes, fear will come. It comes for everyone. But you don't have to welcome it in. You don't have to hand it the keys. Look it in the eye and say, "I see you. I feel you. But you won't control me." Because courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you do it anyway. It means standing tall even when your legs are shaking, speaking up even when your voice cracks, showing up even when your hands tremble. That's real power. It's not always loud. It's not always neat. But it's steady. You're stronger than you think. You've already survived things that should have broken you. Don't forget that. You've lived through nights that felt impossible. You've cried, doubted, screamed, and you're still here. That means fear didn't win. That means something in you is stronger than what's trying to stop you. So no, fear won't control me. I won't let it make my choices. I won't let it shrink my dreams. I won't let it keep me small, soft, or silent when the world needs me strong. I won't hand over my future to fear. I've come too far. I've lost too much. I've worked too hard. I owe it to myself to find out what happens if I refuse to give up. Life is short, too short to be stuck in what-ifs and worst-case thinking. Too short to play background in your own story. Too short to hide your light just to be safe. This is your time, your moment. Your turn to stop letting fear run things. You were made for more. Believe that. You don't need to be fearless. Just faithful to the journey. You don't need to silence fear. Just move louder than it. You don't need to destroy fear. Just stop letting it decide for you. So move forward. Even with fear in your chest, move anyway. Even if your hands shake, build anyway. Even if your heart pounds, speak anyway. Even if your knees wobble, stand anyway. That's where real freedom lives. That's where your purpose waits. That's where your power starts. Fear will come, but it will not rule me. I will show up with integrity. Not just when it's easy. Not just when it gets me praise. Not just when it looks good. I will show up with integrity because it's who I am. It's not an act, not a role. It's my truth when no one's watching. It's the standard I live by, even when no one's cheering. Character isn't built in the spotlight. It's shaped in quiet moments. When no one's watching, when there's no applause, that's when your real self shows up. You have to ask, is that person the same one you show the world? Because you don't need followers to be real. You don't need attention to have value. What you need is consistency. That's what integrity means. Being whole, solid, the same in every room, the same when it helps you and when it costs you. That kind of consistency is rare, because we live in a world that praises the loudest voice, not the truest one. But your strength isn't in volume, it's in presence, in how you treat people who can't help you, in how you keep your word, especially when it's hard. Integrity shows up in your relationships, when you choose honesty over ease, when you tell the truth even if it shakes things. It shows up in your work, when you give your best, even when no one's watching. It shows up in your promises when you follow through, not because of pressure, but because it matters to you. Because your name means something. Because your word still matters. In a world full of filters, be the real deal. In a culture obsessed with image, choose substance. Don't just talk values, live them. Don't just say truth, be it. Because realness doesn't need to shout, it echoes. And people are starving for that. We've all seen what happens when people fake it. We've seen trust break. We've seen talent rise without integrity and fall just as fast. So don't envy those who rise fast by cutting corners. Don't compare yourself to the ones who gain everything but lose themselves. Stay grounded. Stay honest. Let your growth be slow if it has to. Just let it be real. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be true. When your actions match your values, when your heart matches your choices, that's peace. That's when you sleep at night, not because life's perfect, but because your soul is right. Decide now. Your integrity is not for sale, not for likes, not for praise, not for fast wins. Be the same person when you're celebrated and when you're ignored, when you're winning and when you're losing. That's how you build trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Because each time you choose integrity, you become more of who you're meant to be. Someone you can count on, someone others can trust. That's what makes a leader. Not just charm, but character. There'll be pressure to compromise, to perform, to take shortcuts, and maybe no one would notice, but you would. And that weight, that knowing you stepped outside your truth, it's not worth it. When you live with integrity, you carry a quiet power, not the kind that shouts for attention, the kind that earns respect. Because your life speaks, your name speaks, and people feel it when they meet someone solid. Let your yes mean yes. Let your no mean no. Let your presence bring peace. Let your words be true. Let your actions speak louder than your posts. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs real people. People who live their truth, who mean what they say, who don't need the spotlight to shine. So show up in every space, every moment, every decision, with integrity. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. Not because the world asks for it, but because your soul does. Integrity isn't a switch you flip when it's convenient. It's the ground you build on, and once it's built, no storm, no pressure, no praise can shake it. That's true power. That's freedom. That's what happens when you choose to live true. Speak that kind of life. Speak that kind of truth. And most of all, live it deeply. My time is valuable. I guard it, because time is the one thing I can't get back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose people and reconnect. You can change jobs, cities, paths. But time keeps moving, and most people don't realize how precious it is until it's gone, until the dream slips away, until the years are filled with regret, until the silence becomes loud, and I should have becomes too heavy. So I won't wait for that. I choose to be intentional now. I don't let life just happen. I take ownership of my time. I don't live by default. I live by choice. Every moment has value. Every hour has meaning. I protect it, not because I'm too busy, but because I know it matters. You have to treat your time like your life depends on it, because it does. You weren't sent here to waste it. Not scrolling all day. Not chasing drama. Not running after people who don't see you. You were sent here to build something, to become something. And that takes energy. That takes focus. That takes time. So guard it. People will ask for your time like it's free. They'll pull you in, distract you, guilt you. But not every invite is a door to purpose. Some are distractions. Some are traps. You must learn to say no. Say it kindly but clearly. No isn't rejection. Sometimes it's redirection. Sometimes it's how you honor yourself. No doesn't make you rude. It makes you wise. You don't owe your time to everyone. You don't have to reply to every message, answer every call, go to every event. Your attention is valuable. Where you give your time, you give your life. And that shapes your future. So ask who gets access to me, and what do they do with it? If the answer is chaos, confusion, compromise, it's time to rethink. Because when your time is intentional, your life becomes powerful. When you protect your hours, you protect your peace, your dreams. Greatness doesn't happen in leftovers. It needs space, focus, quiet. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will come in silence, in the stillness you chose. But most people stay so busy, doing everything, becoming nothing, always rushing, always tired. That's the cost of distraction. And you were made for more. You don't have to fill every hour to feel useful. You don't need to rush to prove your worth. Busy isn't the same as meaningful. You can move all day and still go nowhere. So slow down, breathe, ask, am I spending time or investing it? Because what you give time to grows. If you give time to fear, worry, comparison, that's what you'll grow. But if you give time to growth, peace, vision, your life will reflect that. Be aware of your habits. They shape your future. What you do daily becomes who you are. Success doesn't just happen. Peace doesn't show up on its own. You build it, choice by choice. Every decision matters. Every yes and no writes your story, so write wisely. Your time is sacred, every hour, every quiet moment spent reading, praying, resting, building. That's where power begins. That's where the foundation forms. And don't let anyone make you feel bad for protecting it. You're not selfish. You're wise. You're not pushing others away. You're pulling your purpose closer. The right people will understand. They'll respect your boundaries because they have their own. They won't drain you. They'll pour into you. So live like your time matters. Give it to what lifts you, to what helps you grow. Don't waste it pleasing people who wouldn't notice if you disappeared. Don't chase validation that leaves you empty. Don't let fear, guilt, or distraction steal your hours. Live with awareness, live with purpose, and protect your time like your life depends on it, because it truly does.